film, the thing that jumped out to him was your execution on plays where you use misdirection or you move the launch point. Why do you feel like those are working for you, and do you think you guys can do more of that?
I think we do a pretty good amount of it. I think it's a good way to move the pocket and not just be kind of a sitting duck where you're dropping back in the same spot. The defense knows that I can, I have some mobility, I can move a little bit. They can't pin their ears back every single time and think that I'm going to be in the same point of the pocket. So I think we do a good amount of it. We'll see what happens, in the back half of the season with how we want to use it.
That was Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett talking about moving the launch point when he's in the pocket. That is something that the Pittsburgh Steelers have had a lot of success with. They use misdirection, and because he is so mobile, he is able to move, and that does make it more difficult to get to him. But he's saying moving forward that this is something that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to see how it's going to be implemented. He didn't seem like we're going to be doing lots more of it. We know up until this point that moving the launch point has been something that has given the Pittsburgh Steelers some success. It seems like that's something that does work, but you don't want to do too much of one thing. You need to do other things so that everyone doesn't expect that. So what is Sunday going to look like for this Pittsburgh Steelers offense? Well, we know there aren't any major changes happening in this offense. Kenny Pickett is the starting quarterback. Chase Claypool has been traded, so other guys are going to be stepping up into that role and getting more opportunities. We know that. It does sound like this offense is looking toward moving down the center of the field, actually using the center of the field more than it has in the past. So we have that happening. It just seems like these little things, little details are the focus during the bye week. It seems like there are just a lot of little details that are causing problems. And one of those, of course, is the penalty situation. Those penalties on the offense are really costing a lot of yardage, and they're making it much more difficult to get those really needed first downs to continue moving down the field. So we're going to see a lot more of that. I believe that Steven Sims is going to make a very big impact coming up in this upcoming game on Sunday. As you heard Coach Tomlin say earlier this week, the film speaks for itself, or the tape speaks for itself, I think is what he said. So we're going to see a lot more of that. So it's going to be an interesting game, and this game, I believe, could have the potential to be a turning point for this season. I know it's looked pretty gloomy up until this point, and I've said that this is a building season for the team. Coach Tomlin, well, at least he's not saying it. He's saying the complete opposite. The goal is winning. He wants to win. The standard is winning, and the standard is the standard. Isn't that what Coach Tomlin and everyone is always saying? That is an important component of any season, is winning. So, will this be the turnaround that the Pittsburgh Steelers need to get on course to have a winning season? It can happen. Anything can happen. But I believe that a lot is weighing on this game. Because if the Pittsburgh Steelers can't come out of this game with a win after all of this time to regroup, to restart, it's going to be a tough road ahead. These games coming up are not as difficult as the previous games, but you have to remember that each team is different. Each team has players and components that the previous teams did not have. So every matchup is unique, and there can be some things on one team that may not have done so well against other opponents that your team may have a difficult time with. So like I say, anything can happen. Anything can happen. It's football. That's what makes the game exciting and enjoyable to watch, because you really don't know. Remember, if you want up-to-date Pittsburgh Steelers news, information, analysis, and talk, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel right here. It really helps us to put out more and more of this content on a daily basis, so we can get the news out to you as fast as possible and as regular as possible. And remember, if you want up-to-date notifications to be the first to know, hit that bell. Thanks for watching.